Have you ever wondered what the recipe is to become a good leader? No, scratch that. A great leader? We're all capable of leadership, but there are some of us who just seem to naturally know what to do while others are just left scrambling, fumbling, trying to piece something together and it's not working. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 key characteristics that I believe every great leader needs to master in order to influence others, potential, and confidence. Okay, so those 5 competencies that we're going to be breaking down, I just want to share with you number 5 is my all-time favorite, so please don't cut yourself short. You want to make sure you get to number 5. Hey guys, this is Tammy Dunnett, your communication and leadership coach, helping you master courageous conversations so that you can create a career where you are respected, appreciated, and empowered. Now let's get into today's topic. Now the first characteristic probably isn't so surprising in the sense that you need to have a vision. Where is it you're going? What are your ambitions? And the clearer we can get on that when we communicate it with our team, the more aligned the actions can be and the faster we can get towards resolution or outcomes or productivity. So for example, in my own company, my vision is to eliminate workplace bullying. Right away, everybody around, when they hear that, they know exactly what I'm targeting. We're looking at behaviors, relationships, communication. We're looking at leadership. And so every activity that I take, including these YouTube videos, is all aligned with my purpose of eliminating workplace bullying by teaching people the skills they need to get ahead of it, to work through it, and to recover from it. Now, when you craft a vision that is clear, it can almost act as a mantra for your organization. Once we have the vision communicated, that doesn't mean people are going to automatically assemble and get to work creating the vision, because right now it's just a conversation. A vision without action is simply words. In order to get people from seeing the picture into creating the picture, we need to have influence. Now, influence is power. The more you work on developing your influence, the more successful you will be. It doesn't matter your role in an organization. So in terms of taking this vision into an outcome, we need to be able to inspire people to take action. And this happens in several different ways. For some in your organization, simply sharing the vision is all they need because they're going to get right into action. They know what they need to do. They know what they're best at, and off to the races they go. For others in your organization, they're going to need a little bit more information, such as, why are we doing this? This is probably the biggest question people want answered because it helps them know how they play a role and why it's important that they participate. So you may be needing to answer some questions preemptively. As you share your vision, you can also share how this is an important mission for the task or for the organization, what we expect to achieve and get from it, what will happen if we fail. And so paint a picture for them so that they know that they are on the right train headed towards the right station. Now there's a few ways in which we build influence. As I mentioned earlier, influence is power and it is something that you can build. It's a skill that you can work on. One of the key factors in influence is trust. The more your people trust you, the more they will work hard for you. You build trust by being personal with people, getting to know the people who work with you and for you. You get trust by being reliable, by following through with what you say and taking the actions you promise you would take. And if you can't take them, to come back and circle back and involve them in that conversation. So we have trust, being reliable, and listening. Not having all the right answers, so being flexible within that listening to hear what they really are concerned about, maybe where they think they can be successful, and then try to structure the mission to bring out the best in all of your people. So this will lead us naturally into number 3, which is growth. So in what ways can we as leaders provide opportunity for growth among our team? Well, there's always informal leadership opportunities, right? So once we've shared our vision and we've influenced and motivated them to all get inspired, let them just kind of hash it out for a while, problem solve, and share how they see this task being accomplished. And notice those informal moments where employees are mentoring each other and sharing and collaborating and skill building among the team. Those are capacity moments. Also notice when an employee or a coworker says, you know what, I've been doing the same thing, like every time we get on a task, I'm always the one who does the research, and I know I'm really good at it, but I'm feeling kind of pigeonholed. Can I be somebody different in this task? Can I have a different role? And notice those, because if you have somebody who's sharing that with you, They're likely not feeling like they're stretching and growing, and they also want to have that ability as well. Now, before we get into the next two, I want to just take a moment here and check in with you and see which of the first three, because we always have work to do as a leader, which of the first three would you like to work on more? How comfortable are you with communicating a vision that's clear? How comfortable are you in inspiring and influencing people into action? And the third one is, how comfortable are you in creating capacity for other people to grow their skill set, their knowledge set, their confidence? Let me know which one you'd like to work on more in the comments below, and we're going to get into the next two right away. Okay, so the fourth core competency you need to develop as a leader is that of solving problems and removing barriers. Now, typically what I see is a lot of people are great at solving problems. In fact, that's what makes us feel good as leaders sometimes, is that our people come to us with problems and we're like, yes, I got an answer for this. And I am so guilty of this one. So guilty. I love to solve problems. The key here is to solve problems and remove barriers. And I think maybe this should be switched. Remove barriers and help solve problems is probably a better way to put this competency. We want to encourage the expansion of the thinking abilities and the problem-solving abilities among our own team. So before we jump into solving the problem, it might be good to remove the barriers. Now, sometimes these barriers are barriers that we would have to remove, such as maybe they need more personnel, or perhaps they have a policy that they've come up against and they need us to take this up to the higher-uppers. There are just some things we will have to participate in. But what if these problems are just like, how do we navigate this? What resources should we use? What's the best approach? As a leader, speaking of capacity building in step number 3, and then solving problems and removing barriers, this is an opportunity to ask them, well, what do you think? If there were no issues or there were no limitations, what would you do? What would you choose to do as your action? Stretch them and build their capacity. Get them thinking and accessing those parts of the brain that are just waiting to be invited. Now, sometimes the barriers that we are removing have nothing to do with the project at hand. More often, we find that these are external influences or factors that are creating tension in our employees that are causing them to not bring their best selves. So perhaps there's something happening outside, like the war in Ukraine, and they're worried about their family there, and they're struggling to bring their best selves to the work. How can we remove that barrier and help problem solve this? What flexibility can we come up with? What ideas might they have already in order for them to participate in the best that they can while still, honoring this very serious situation? So as a leader, we're not just dealing with problems as they come up, we're anticipating problems, and we're trying to be ahead of as many as we can be in order to clear the path for our team to be successful. So this means you're always talking with your team, engaging with your team, checking in to see what they need from you in order to move forward faster. Now this leads us to number 5, which is my personal favorite, because without number 5, all the rest are going to crumble. So number 5 is all about communication, and it's building relationships. This was touched on way back in core competency number 2, as you learned that's how you build your influence. But relationship building is a competency in itself. And it is, as I said, foundational to every other core competency that we just talked about. Without communicating your vision, without being able to share it and articulate it with clarity, with a passion that gets people motivated, nothing will happen. And if it does happen, it's going to be half-assed at best. Now, along with this communication, developing these skills of being clear and concise and influencing and motivating, comes the conflict resolution. Without being able to navigate the personal conflicts that will come up, and they will, a good leader will lose its influence. Once conflict takes hold of a team, and if a leader is not able to engage with this conflict and help the team resolve it, that leader will lose credibility with their team. Nobody cares about me. Nobody listens to me. I can't trust the leadership here. And you'll start to see retention issues and morale issues. So communication is foundational. Now, Oftentimes, it really is just a simple conversation that our employees and our colleagues need to role play with us in order to go back and resolve the tensions with another person. And so I have a download called the Safe Conversation Starters. This is going to help you to address the 10 most offensive workplace behaviors that you see today. Everything from, oh, Sally was rolling her eyes and huffing at me in the meeting, to Bob's not giving me all the information I need. It's like hoarding stuff and he won't give it to me. I have a solution for all of those. You just have to download this document and it will give you 10 scripted responses that you can use to either implement yourself with a relationship that is in distress, or you can mentor and help role play this for somebody else so that they can go and implement this conversation. You're only truly one conversation away. And as a good leader, no, scratch that, a great leader, as we said at the top, a great leader knows how to mentor and promote the capacity of their own employees and their communication skills to resolve conflict. So to summarize, we have 5 core competencies that every great leader needs to work on developing. And I will just share this. These are not like you hit a plateau and you've mastered it. These are always ongoing. We always have room to improve our own capacity. But let's review those right now. Number 1 is vision. You need to be able to clearly and concisely share your vision so that people are in the same container with you. Number 2 is influence. You need to be able to motivate people into action. Number 3 is capacity. How do I take this team and stretch them? Where can they learn something new? How can they solve problems together? Number 4 is removing barriers and solving problems. We want to take away the path that might be slowing them down, create an opening for them to move faster. And number 5, my personal favorite and incorporates every single step, is building relationships and trust, communication. Let me know in the comments below which one of these is your favorite. Which one do you think you do really, really well? I want to hear that too. So earlier I asked you which one do you want to work on. Now I want to know which one do you think is your strongest thing that you bring to the table. I want to celebrate that as well. So again, for those of you who are new here, I hope this has served you. My name is Tammy Dennett. It's been a pleasure to help you consider your leadership development. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button and the bell button, and share this with 5 friends. Why 5? Because for sure you know more, but at least 5 of your friends are probably looking for content like this right now because they're struggling in motivating their team, in getting productivity done, in creating results. And you're going to look like the hero. All right, guys, we're going to see you in the next video. And remember, you're just one conversation away.